This episode is brought to you by PayPal. You had plans for the last days of summer. And back-to-school shopping has its own plans. School supplies, dorm essentials, your list doesn't stop. Neither does the spending. But when you pay in full with PayPal, you can pay over time. No interest, no fees. Check out with PayPal and get back to summer. Subject to approval. Learn more at paypal.com/payinfor. PayPal Inc. NMLS 910457.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Make That Bloody Movie with Coffee, where we talk film, creativity, storytelling, the grind, and what it really takes to make your vision come alive. Tonight, we have a special episode called Youth in the Film Industry. We're talking about the next generation of filmmakers, actors, writers, producers, and storytellers, the young creatives who are stepping into the film world with fresh ideas, new energy, and a different way of seeing the industry. Because the future of film is not just in Hollywood. It's in the young voices. It's in the independent creators. It's in the people who are not waiting for permission to tell their stories. So tonight, we're going to talk about passion, opportunity, change, current projects, and why classic films still inspire new generations. Let's get right into it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you remember AJ Apple Juice from the last episode. He's here tonight. And we got director Max that Apple Juice brought along. So tonight we'll get to see what Max is all about, step into his world, and give us his experience in the journey of filmmaking. How you doing, Max? What's going on tonight? Tell the audience out there a little bit about yourself and who you are.
Hello, everybody. My name is Max. I am a young director working out of high school. Very, very small short films I've made. I'm still starting out my career, and I'm happy to be here to give you guys a little insight on it.
Max, hold on one second. We're getting too much feedback in the background. Is that you, AJ?
That might be me.
Okay. Can you mute your mic for 1 second? Let Max. All right, go ahead, Max. Start again.
No problem. No problem. Hello, everybody. My name is Max. I am a young director. I work mainly at home with my own equipment, and I'm happy to be here and enlighten everybody on my process, my creative works.
Awesome. Go ahead, Apple Juice. Your turn. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. You remember me from last time. I am Apple Juice. I help Max make his movies.
Cool. All right, let's get right into it, everybody. Hopefully you have your coffees with you. I know Max got his Bloody Mary, like he said last time. Apple Juice, I don't know what coffee he's drinking, but stay till the end of the show and I'll tell you the coffee of the night. All right, let's get right into it. So, guys, what do you like about film?
For me, mainly, it's just getting my ideas out there and putting a vision to the screen, you know? Getting all those interesting ideals and just views and putting them into something tangible for people to see and get like a little bit of my mind out there.
Awesome. Go ahead, Apple Juice. What do you think about films?
What do I think about films? I think films are amazing. I love going to see them, knowing how they were made, and just seeing like the behind the scenes just interests me the most, honestly. And like talking about film, like right after seeing it, especially with my friend Max here, is awesome. I love that. And sometimes, in the future, I wish to also do the same thing and put things on the big screen.
Awesome. What made you, I guess, how did you guys came together? You guys are in the same class? Well, how did this all came about?
Yeah, so we met back in middle school, just all of us in a friend group, and we've been knowing each other ever since and been working together on projects, me and his and mine's. It's been going on for about 4 or 5 years, I'd say. I've known him.
Wow, that's awesome. And what made you fall in love with film, Max?
Honestly, if I could pin down a moment, I think it was Avengers Endgame premiere night. Just seeing the spectacular performances, RDJ seeing all the Avengers just team up, the acting alone, the special effects and the lighting, and just hearing the sounds around me in IMAX. I felt like that was the moment where I felt like the power film can do to somebody. And honestly, I inspire to give that feeling to everybody else who watches my works, just that passion.
Okay, that is amazing, and that's a good movie, by the way. Was it the acting, the storytelling, the camera, the emotion, the character, or just the feeling of watching the movie that stayed with you after it ended?
I feel like just that feeling, that experience in the theaters really sticks with me to today.
It's the experience, huh?
Watching it in theaters is like, it's undescribable. Even watching it at home, it's a whole different experience on the big screen. Just, I want to do that someday, have that be on there.
Nice. And Apple Juice, what about you?
For me, for film and stuff, what really got me into it was honestly helping Max. I mean, I love seeing movies before and like seeing and like watching them on the big screen, but being on like making it like wanting to keep helping make movies is, I probably got that from Max. Helping him with his films has been amazing. I really enjoyed the one that we talked about last time, David. That was our first. Well, our first one that we did together. So it was fun.
This episode is brought to you by PayPal. You had plans for the last days of summer, and back-to-school shopping has its own plans. School supplies, dorm essentials, your list doesn't stop. Neither does the spending. But when you pay in full with PayPal, you can pay over time. No interest, no fees. Check out with PayPal and get back to summer. Subject to approval. Learn more at paypal.com/payinfor. PayPal Inc. NMLS 910457.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
When did you first realize this is something I wanted to be a part of?
I don't know. I think it sounds cliche, but around your freshman year of high school, everyone's already asking you, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to live your life? What do you want to accomplish? And honestly, I didn't know for a long time. And then just the idea of making stories, being a storyteller, it always stuck with me. And just, I've always loved movies my whole life, so I felt like I just put two to two together one day, and I felt like this is what I need to do. This is what I got to do with my life.
Wow. Okay, so you got the movie bug film.
It's been stuck with me my whole life.
That's amazing. And with you, Apple Juice?
What was the question again?
Sure. The question was, when did you first realize yourself, Apple Juice, this was something I wanted to be a part of?
Oh, that's a really good question. For me, that's a hard question. Sorry, guys.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Was it writing? Was it the lighting? Was it doing sound? Was it acting?
I think it was a bit of everything at the same time. I mean, especially like for the David movie, I was only the light producer, and then in the movie that we were making, That's a Saturday, I was an actor, and I enjoyed both. Yeah,
it was kind of like two different experiences you had.
Yeah, it was like living in like two different worlds, honestly.
Okay. All right, question 2. What are your thoughts, Max, about the film industry today?
That's a great question. I feel like the industry now is split between 2 points, the artists and the producers. And I really envy and live with and experience the artists, the people who get to get their ideas, go through the work and make movies and things that become extremely popular. But I heavenly resent Hollywood and just like the big film industry. I feel like those people, the ones pulling the strings, the one with the money, they end up sometimes compromising the vision in so many ways and turning such great ideas from such great artists into just basic things that everyone's seen every day. And I feel like the industry as a whole would be so much better if we let our creatives, our directors just express themselves without any restrictions or control. Just let them make what they want to make. And I think we'd all be better for that.
Well, to add to what you're saying, Max, I mean, that's where we are today, because a lot of people are complaining and crying out loud that they want new content, original ideas, fresh faces, fresh ideas, step outside the box, take chances. And I believe some studios are doing that. Amazon is one of them that are taking chances. What are your thoughts on that, Apple Juice?
I feel the same way, but not only for like the film industry. I would say the same thing for like, because I'm going to school for an art major, and I feel like the art industry is also kind of like that with a lot of big companies too, like Disney, canceling like shows because they think it's like too woke or whatever. And I just despise that. I feel like, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way.
So, Max, we have streaming platforms, social media, AI tools, short form content, independent creators, and people making movies with phones and small cameras. How do you feel about that?
I think that's great. I love that more average people get to use more tools to help them in their creative processes and just expand on it. I myself am using just a low budget camera off of Amazon to make movies, and I think it's amazing that people can just pick up their phones and like make something that almost looks professional, and I think that's beautiful.
Right. And now with the tools and everything that's accessible, you can get your ideas out there. You don't have to wait for Hollywood, as they say.
Exactly.
Apple Juice, for your point of view, what do you think about the industry right now in today's world?
Well, the industry right now, I think, has gone. It's had its ups and downs. I can say that. Like, I just,
Max?
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Add to that?
Yeah, sure. I feel like the industry has definitely been changing rapidly, especially with the introduction of AI tools and like AI generation. for that. There's going to be a lot of changes that happen for creatives, especially in my field, the people who are directing and writing the stories. It's going to be, I feel like it's going to make some things easier for a lot of people, but it's going to make especially getting jobs and making money off of this a lot harder when it becomes almost, I don't want to say obsolete, but just more expensive than having an AI do it. And I feel like there's a danger and a future in that.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on what you just said? I'm curious. Why do you feel that way?
Absolutely. I personally do not use AI anywhere in my creative process. I prefer to just have all of it come from myself, my own head, my own creative liberties, and I prefer that over getting any ideas or assistance from AI. But I understand where up and coming directors will use AI, and I feel like it's okay to a limit. It should be an assistance, I feel, instead of making the film. Because filmmaking is an art. And art comes from the human soul, the human experience. And I feel like that gets taken away once you introduce AI. For me personally, at least. So AI assistance, how it's being implemented now, I feel like that is borderlining the line before we get to a bigger issue. So, I'm sorry, I'm losing.
No, it's okay. That's what we're here for, to talk about this. This is really good. Apple juice.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
that's why me and Max like making our own films, because the experience is amazing. Like working with friends, making friends, and seeing how the outcome seeing it after we make it is like amazing, and seeing it like like the experience is amazing. That's what I'm trying to say.
Do you think that with AI and everything that is available today to make movies, don't you guys feel like, okay, there will be a category of AI feature films being produced and shopped? There'll be classical original art films like what you say, Max, that will be shopped and still be able to make money. Don't you think that it's just options? You'll have more options to go which way you want. Like before there was only one way. Now you'll have like maybe, let's say, 5 ways to go down the road. Do you think that's a bad thing, or do you think that's a good thing?
Specifically in the case of AI in the film, making films with AI, I feel like that is a net negative. It does more damage to the creators and the people who make the movies and make the stories that we love when they get taken out of the equation and we substitute them for AIs. We end up just making, we're not making art, we're making colors on a screen to just entertain rather than teach. Every film has a meaning. Nothing you do in life should just be because. It has something to it, and all films have something to it, and
Yes.
that something is humanity. It's the soul that you pour into your work. Like, let me say it like this. I don't think AI can absolutely make movies. It has done it several times before. There's already feature film AI movies, but they will never be considered classics like, say, Silence of the Lambs or Star Wars. They'll never reach that type of popularity, because I feel like no matter what a computer can do, you can never make something like the Mona Lisa or Starry Night on the big screen, because all of those were made by a person. It was their works, their masterpieces brought to a canvas. And you can never replicate that without having that human soul, that human part of it. So while absolutely AI can make films, it will make films, it has made films, they will never be as great, as well known, as remembered as the great works that have already come out.
It won't feel the same.
Okay. Do you feel like it gives the young creatives more opportunities, or do you feel like there are walls that need to be broken down?
It opens up a lot of opportunities, especially I feel like in the financing part of it. It is much easier to have ChatGPT like organize a script and write it for you than it is to pay a writer and someone to look over it and then get it out there. It makes things less expensive, which
Okay.
is always a benefit. Movie making is extremely expensive, but again, I feel like things must come in equal value. Like too much of it becomes a problem, I feel.
Okay. What do you guys think about the movie? I'm going to say that's very popular and did 300 million. Obsession.
Ooh.
700K.
I love that movie. That movie, I feel like that's one of the movies in the modern day that I feel like will be remembered the most.
Yes.
It was so unique and like, honestly, like a lot of it was terrifying. A lot of horror movies nowadays aren't really scary to me, but like honestly, there were a couple scenes in there where I felt scared, and that it made me feel like a little kid again, and I love that.
And he was a YouTuber, which I didn't know, for many years before
Yes.
he was able to do what he did. That's amazing. What was it like? Do you know the backstory about him, or you? A little bit. Or?
So
okay if you
I know a little bit about Corey Baker. He started off making shorts on YouTube around the pandemic, making it with a bunch of his friends, and eventually he was financed by the studio A24 to make his horror movie. And that I think that's really wonderful, and a lot of creatives nowadays are coming off of YouTube and going to the big screen, and I think that's just wonderful. And a lot of them are run by A24. A24 is really seeming to be a studio that believes in its creatives, I feel.
Wow, that's interesting. I never knew that. A24 is like scouting out YouTubers and their creative ideas. That's awesome, man. Well, that's another road you could take to Hollywood. So, question 3. What can young creators bring to change the film industry? Apple Juice, we'll start with you. Did you hear?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Question 3. What can young creators bring to change the film industry in today's world?
Well, obviously, we have to start with the biggest one: passion. Passion, organization, time management. You really got to like take those into like when you start filming and stuff. And that's something that we've learned while making our own films too, like time management, organization, making sure everyone's like, you know, up to par, or like, oh, where are you, or where are you at, or like all that stuff, like making sure that we're ready, you know. That is something that you should take into consideration.
Max?
I agree with a lot of what AJ said. For me personally, I feel like young directors can bring more vision, more ideas, and just interpretations of the same old things. We've been doing filmmaking for so long, almost every story's been told. So I feel what we can ask the next generation, rather than what new ideas can you bring to the table, I think it rather should be, how can you take other ideas and make it different? How can you make it your own? How can you make it your own piece? And I feel like a lot of them have. On Obsession, if I may. Obsession on its bare bones is very similar to the old Monkey Paw story, making a wish and it going terribly wrong. But it's nothing like that off of that base concept. It's a whole different vibe, it's a whole different character surroundment. It's different, but still so similar to the story. I feel like new people just bring more ideas to the table and more ways to transform old ideas. It's like an evolution. It's another step in the creativeness.
That's fascinating you say that. And you reference an old movie. What's the name of that movie?
The Monkey Paw.
The Monkey Paw. What's that about? Never heard of it.
So the monkey paw is about this archaeologist who discovers an old decrepit monkey's hand. And whenever he makes a wish, one of the fingers in the hand will close up. And every wish he makes turns horribly wrong. Like he wishes for like $1,000. Someone in his grandpa will die and he'll get it through the inheritance. Like the wish will turn on him. He'll still get it, but it will horribly alter his life. It's an incredible horror movie. I'd recommend.
Wow. Definitely check it out, everybody. Monkey Paw. And when did it came out? What year?
I believe in the 2010s, if I'm not wrong.
Oh,
I don't have the exact year. So fairly recent.
So, Apple Juice. Young filmmakers today understand technology, social media, culture, and what the audience are watching in real time. So what do you think young creators can bring to the industry that maybe older systems are missing, besides the creative ideas and concepts?
This episode is brought to you by PayPal. You had plans for the last days of summer. And back-to-school shopping has its own plans. School supplies, dorm essentials, your list doesn't stop. Neither does the spending. But when you pay in full with PayPal, you can pay over time. No interest, no fees. Check out with PayPal and get back to summer. Subject to approval. Learn more at paypal.com/payinfor. PayPal Inc. NMLS 910457.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Really pulling out like the big guns, like big questions here.
Max, you could fill in or step in if you want as well.
No, please, Max, please help me.
Sure, okay. Techniques, I feel. As technology gets better, everyone can learn how to use technology, but the next generation grew up on this technology and has already figured out ways to use it to its advantage. I don't feel like a lot of people, when the iPhone came out, really thought that you could make a whole movie out of it. But now younger people are making like blockbusters with so much less. I feel like we can bring new techniques and innovations to what already exists.
Well, this is true. This is true. Also keep in mind that not all adults stay in the box. We all do tend to come out of the box. It's just the majority of us tend to. I agree with you, Max. No disrespect, but
none taken. None taken. That's absolutely the name of the game. Stepping out of your box and comfort zone to do something different. That's what all creatives should strive to do.
And it's not easy. It's not easy to do that kind of thing, especially if you're like a first timer. I know it wasn't easy for me when I tried acting for like the first time for our second movie. It was like a big like step. Like I said, it's about like I said, it's like living in two worlds. It's really different.
No, I agree. And one of the things that I agree with both of you, and something that Max mentioned was, you can learn new technology, but the youth grew up with it, so they kind of have an edge over the older generation, which is true, because their brains are wired differently. So, now, question 4. What projects are you guys currently working on?
Ooh, wonderful question. AJ's mentioned it a couple times, but currently I am in the making of a movie called That's a Saturday. It's about 5 teenagers set in after-school detention, learning to just get through the time. They butt heads, and they learn to just make best of the terrible situation and try and get back at the principal for keeping them in there.
Wow. So kind of like sounds very familiar, like The Breakfast Club.
It is extremely inspired by The Breakfast Club, but I took my own creative liberties with the characters and the environments and just how they act. So hopefully it's different enough.
Okay, could you give us one little, I don't know, idea of what makes this one different from The Breakfast Club that you can tell us?
Absolutely. So, for anyone unfamiliar with the Breakfast Club, one of the main characters, John, is like he's pretentious. He's very a bully type of character, and he attacks
Right.
the people around him. And he's an antagonist. And we have a similar character that we call Thoro, but the difference for him is that he's uh sorry. His attacks and his bullyingness comes more as a defensive rather than an offensive thing, like in the Breakfast Club. Rather, in this one, he's actively hiding himself from the others so they don't get too close. In the settings of 1980, which we have the movie set in, he is a closeted homosexual, so he doesn't want his other teenage friends to know about that, so he
Right.
keeps himself very at a hand's distance. He keeps them far away. So that's why he's so much of a jerk to them at the beginning and so like angry, rather than in the Breakfast Club where he's just that because that's who he is. That's who his character is. And they never really go in depth on the characters in the Breakfast Club, I feel like. But in this one, I try and dive more into why he acts like this and why he's so antagonizing against them.
Nice. Very interesting twist. And let me ask you, well, no, you can't give me, yeah, we'll wait for that. So tell everybody out there, once it's done, where can we see it? Is it going to be streaming somewhere, or is it going to be shown? Are you going to show it, or it's just
Absolutely. Absolutely. I plan to put it in my local film festival first, and then once it's had its run there, I plan to post it on YouTube.
Nice, nice. Could you tell the audience where they can contact you or see your YouTube channel, and how to see your stuff? Like, do you have what do you call yourself on YouTube?
So I don't have an official account yet for my films. I haven't posted any yet, but I run my quote unquote production company under the name EPO Studios.
EPO Studios. Okay, nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get all his information at the end of the show. But we're really excited to see these two. What did you do with the first film? Was that you put it in festivals, or you just kind of...
So David was actually my film class final. So I submitted that for a grade.
Okay.
My prompt actually for the final was I was supposed to make a film with the help of an AI assistant. But rather than doing that, I made a film commentating on the negatives of AI on the people. So that was really fun to write and do and turn in for the grade.
Okay. Awesome. AJ, question 5. Why The Breakfast Club?
The Breakfast Club? Well,
Why the concept came from The Breakfast Club?
well, you see, I think this is more of a Max question because he came
like a
to
me
me
type of thing.
saying that he wanted it inspired by, be inspired by the Breakfast Club. So I think this is more fitting for Max.
Go ahead, Max.
I will happily give my inspiration. So, one day I was just laying around in my house and I found that The Breakfast Club was on Netflix, and I've heard it's been called a cult classic by so many, like my family loves it. So I decided to go watch it for the first time because I knew nothing about it. And I watched the whole thing and I got to the end of it and I felt that I felt like it was really bad. I'm gonna be honest. I am not the biggest fan of The Breakfast Club. I felt like the characters weren't explained enough. The environment was just not utilized to its extent. And it was just very fast paced in how the characters got to open up to each other. So I was watching it, and like my first impulse was like, I can do so much better. And then I wrote the first draft of the script for That's a Saturday, like right then and there.
Nice. Okay. So, what about the story that still connects with young people today? The Breakfast Club. What do you think people still talk about it? What was it about that movie that really, you know, besides being a cult classic, you think people gravitate to it?
I feel like it's sense of community. The whole movie just shows you these very different high schoolers that anybody in high school can really project themselves to, or anybody who's graduated high school can like see themselves as these kind of stereotypes that they have. And it's very like a coming together, coming of age movie where all of them get to know each other and they become great, long lasting friends, and they build their own type of community despite their adversary, the principal, attacking them constantly. And I feel like that resonates with a lot of people, especially nowadays where community is just harder to find or just not
Right.
as accessible as it could be. So I understand why it's a cult classic. I just have my opinions.
Question 6, Apple Juice. Are you adding a different twist to this classic film? I know this is a Max question, but I'm curious to see what you're gonna say.
A twist.
Yeah.
I think John, my character John, slash Thoro. I think the twist is that like he's a closeted homosexual, and I spoke about this like on the last time that I was here. That my character was like how I kind of related to him a little bit, because I feel like for those who are in the LGBTQ community has had those like times where they felt like they didn't I don't know, it's just hard like figuring it all out on your own, and like especially like if you have to like hide it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the John is probably being a homosexual is definitely a twist in this movie.
Max?
I definitely agree with AJ. I feel like Thoro is where we went the most different from the Breakfast Club, but also in our jock substitute, who we named Stu, we made him a little bit different. We gave him a backstory with his father at home, like an abusive father. His mother's gone. He's forced to stay in sports, and that's why he himself is also attackative and confronting, because he himself has issues at home that he doesn't want to confront. And I feel like we gave a lot of backstory and just a lot more personality to a lot of the characters. We made the preppy girl more sensitive and just more of a pushover to her friends. We made the smart stereotype, who we named Brian. We made him anxious. We gave him a stutter, who's like, he doesn't know how to control himself, and he's very anxious around at school and about his grades. And I felt like that just added a lot during all the scenes. And it gave more soul to whenever we were filming, especially with all our actors. AJ himself did it in a spectacular performance. He had an amazing monologue, and it just had so much raw soul and just passion in it behind his voice. And I felt like that was genuinely when he started understanding the character and his pain. And that's where we really separate ourselves from the Breakfast Club, just in our characters' backstories.
So you would say it's more emotional, these characters?
Yes.
Oh, 100%. Yes. These are teenagers, guys.
That's true. That's true. They go through a lot of things, you know, especially life. Are you bringing in today's issues like social media, mental health, identity, pressure from school, family problems, dreams, fears, and the struggle to be understood as a teenager today?
Oh, that is at the core of That's a Saturday. that struggle from your parents in the world to like live up to what's expected to you. I don't have like modern technology per se in the film because we set it in between 1986 and 1987.
Okay.
So we don't have technology like that evolved in the film, but we definitely go in through the teenager experience throughout school because I feel like that hasn't changed too much throughout the years. So we really could speak on that, and I wanted to just give more perspective on the varying teenage lives because I haven't lived every kid's life. So I felt like just having the characters and having my actors put a little bit of themselves into it made it just feel more real. So we could bring in those issues and talk about them in a more appropriate and sensitive way, I feel.
What do you think, Apple Juice?
I definitely put a lot of myself into the character. Like I said, I relate to the characters so much. It goes back to what I said about like keeping yourself like a secret, like keeping a part of yourself a secret. It's hard to deal with, and it's not easy. It's not easy, guys. Trust. It's
Do you think a lot of the youth, when they watch your films, guys, can understand what you're trying to convey and feel?
I'm sorry?
That's the mission.
Okay.
I really hope that people, when they see it, they understand what I'm going for and they can understand and relate with the characters and just feel themselves a little bit in the movie. And if they don't, that's how you know I failed.
Okay, that's fair. Do you want them to laugh too?
Oh, there's some jokes in there to throw it up. I don't feel like it's too serious of a movie. It's about teenagers. It has to be a little bit funny. So I definitely cut in with some humor there, here and there. But I also give it time to like have every serious impact sink in and give it meaning.
Nice. All right. You, Apple Juice? Anything to add to that?
I think he covered it. He covered it for me, guys. He's stealing the cake here. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. All right. He's in the spotlight. I love this conversation because film always belonged to dreamers, and right now, young creators have more power than ever before. You don't need to wait for a studio to say yes. You don't need to wait for someone to discover you. You can start building your voice now. Write the scene, shoot the short. Post the clip, tell the story. Learn the craft. Because the film industry is changing today, and the next big voice comes from anywhere. That's what it takes. Make That Bloody Movie with Coffee is all about talking about ideas, taking the struggle, taking the passion, and turning it into something real, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the special edition of Youth in the Film Industry, everybody. And I just wanted to say it was a pleasure having Matt, director Matt, with the Breakfast Club, and David.
This episode is brought to you by PayPal. You had plans for the last days of summer. And back-to-school shopping has its own plans. School supplies, dorm essentials, your list doesn't stop. Neither does the spending. But when you pay in full with PayPal, you can pay over time. No interest, no fees. Check out with PayPal and get back to summer. Subject to approval. Learn more at paypal.com/payinfor. PayPal Inc. NMLS 910457.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
And we also enjoy having Apple Juice as well, coming back for a second episode. And hopefully, we get to see these guys again in another episode down the road. And Max, I hope maybe you could show us on this show, give us a clip, tell us where to look at it. and I'll have my fans check it out. You know.
That would be great. I'll give you guys a call once it's edited and posted.
Awesome. Now, bonus question before I tell the coffee of the night.
All right.
Both of you, one piece of advice you could tell your younger self today, what would it be? Go ahead, Max.
I would say stay passionate. Don't let any of your self-doubts or whatever the world give you hold you back and prevent you from doing anything you want to do. Whenever you set your mind to something, it becomes so much easier to get it accomplished and push through with perseverance, and that passion will fuel every action that you do, no matter what it is. And just embody that with everything you do.
AJ, apple juice.
One thing that I can say to my younger self is to take those steps, take those big steps that just take those big steps. Really step out your comfort zone, okay? Don't be so scared all the time.
So all you folks out there, thank you for joining us on Make That Bloody Movie with Coffee. Coffee of the night, Max already told you, was a Bloody Mary, which is not really coffee, ladies and gentlemen. And apple juice, he's drinking. What are you drinking over there?
I'm drinking a bloody coffee.
I see. He has to make that bloody movie coffee. But
I do.
He's not telling us the coffee of the night. Well, I'm drinking over here is French cappuccino. For all you folks like coffee out there. But again, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Max, for being on the show. Apple juice is always a pleasure as well. Good luck with everything, guys, and keep your passion and your emotions alive. We owe it to you, youth. Keep making magic.
Pleasure to be on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome. And don't worry, you'll be on again.
NFL football season is here, which means when you switch to Verizon, it feels like touchdown. Because you get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us when you buy an eligible 5G phone on select unlimited plans, which means you can watch every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. And it's all on us. Now that's the Verizon way to kick off the NFL football season right. Switch and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us, only with Verizon.
I see you.
Avatar: Fire and Ash is now streaming on Disney+. It's the film critics are calling the best Avatar yet.
Go, 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 go!
A true epic and completely jaw-dropping.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Return to Pandora on Disney+.
It will be an adventure for the whole family.
And watch the Oscar-winning phenomenon at home.
This is sick!
Avatar: Fire and Ash, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.
Wonderful.